witch and a beast. I could be a witch.
Back with another video, folks. This video is brought to you from Fleet Data. All your compliance needs and haulage on one screen. Check them out on www.fleetdata.ie. We're here with Edel Harvey, a driver for O'Toole's. Edel, thanks for having us.
No bother, thanks for having me.
No problem. How long are you driving?
I got the licence probably about 15 years ago, but never really used it. Busy rearing kids and all that.
Yeah.
And then I kind of started about 5 years ago. Was just meant to be for the crack and just wanted to say I can drive a truck, like, because I suppose I was very nervous of all the crap you see on social media at the minute.
Yeah.
Everyone makes a mistake and it's smattered everywhere, and I was like, why would you do that to yourself? Like, so I got the opportunity then. I made mates with a couple of lads in O'Toole's, and shout out to Paddy Walsh, I'll be shot. Got me in here and they were teaching me up the ropes and how to drive, and it just kind of started bit by bit from then. So I suppose about 3 years ago then I went at it full time, like, and yeah, at the start it was daunting and I didn't know would I stick it, but I love it now.
You're still here.
Yeah, love it.
But you would have had a keen interest in trucks longer than you're driving. Like, I know your face from truck shows over the years. Like, you're involved in the trucking scene, organising shows, truck runs, supporting all these things.
Yeah, like, I suppose I was obsessed with trucks since I was a kid, and nobody knows where I got it from because there was no trucks in the family. Now, I did find out all right lately that my grandfather did a stint at one stage.
Yeah.
And he was a bus driver, but I would never have grown up around trucks or known one end from another, like. And I actually remember a funny story years ago. John, back when we were teenagers and we could all hitch everywhere. Yeah. And we were hitching out of Innis one night in a pure shit night, like floods everywhere. And Noel Heher, he's a truck in Ina, picked up myself and my friend. And there was a place coming out of Innis, Lockville. It was always flooded, no one could get through. All the cars were backed up, and Noel just goes, watch this, girls. And straight out through the flood. And I thought this was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. Like, I just after thinking of that there now. And yeah, just always obsessed with them, loved them. Even the kids, like, have known nothing else other than truck pictures up on walls. And yeah. I had Pickett's Express lorry with the horses was up on the kitchen wall when they were small, and always loved them and went to the shows and got involved in them then. And I love helping out with the truck shows and the runs, and especially the charity ones. They're great, like, and just to see everyone come together and what they can do, it's brilliant.
To be fair, the lorry men, and I will say the farmers, the agriculture men, but we're talking about lorries here. When there's a sick child or there's money need to be raised, they will come out in force. Yeah. And that's one thing, it's a credit to any man that's in the haulage industry. They will be there. Yeah,
like I often said to my friends now, that my friends that have nothing to do with truck scenes, like, and they think half of this is madness, like.
Sure, it is madness.
But I often say to them, like, even the truck scene, like, everyone knows this, so there's no point in denying it. They'll fight like cats and dogs among themselves and bitch like cats and dogs. But the minute someone's in bother, everyone will come together. Like you said, a sick child or a sick driver or anything, everything will be taken over. A run will be organised, money will be gathered, the thing will be sorted.
And sometimes in a very short window of time.
Oh yeah, massive short window.
Couple of weeks and that's it done.
Yeah. Like, I've often seen collections done there even on the quiet for lads. Do you know, a lad is sick or a lad has a bit of bother, and all the buddies will get together, word will go around, and there'll be an envelope collected, like. Yeah. Do you know, they're great to look out for each other, like.
Ah, they are, to be fair.
Do you know?
And tell me, what do you love about life on the road?
I suppose it's different every day, and having the crack with people and not being tied down to the one area. Like I could never see myself going into an office job or a factory and sitting there for 10 hours. Like, the hours are long in haulage, everyone knows that. But, like, most of the days, it flies, like. Yeah. Do you know, you're into, like, even where I'm going now later, there's all different lads in there, and you'll have the banter with different lads all day, and you'll get chatting to different lads. And even when I used to be doing the nights, like, there'd be sometimes there you mightn't even answer a phone call because you want to break for half an hour because you've been on the phone all night, on hands-free kit. But like, everyone just keep each other company and chatting to each other, and you know, you'd have serious crack with lads like.
Oh, you would, yeah, you would. And everyone's in the same boat. Everyone's lonely, and not lonely, but they're sitting there, they've time to think, oh, we'll ring this, we'll ring whoever.
Yeah. Do you know, and a lot of lads that have big chats with you there tonight and just getting stuff off their chest, and do you know, lads that have a rant you there about something, they could ring you the following day and say, do you know what, no, I'm right grand again. I just needed to have an old good bitch about that.
Yeah,
like.
it was just emotional, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we've all been there.
Do you know?
And then, what do you hate about life on the road?
I suppose that, not so much a loneliness, but like, I sleep out all week, so you're missing everything at home. Do you know, if friends are doing something of an evening, you can't pop down and do it. Even this year now, there was a few funerals I noticed this year now that you would have gone to, but you're like, okay, if it's a family funeral, of course, your work is going to let you off. But people that I thought a lot of, there was a couple of them now died this year, and you just couldn't get down the road to the funeral.
Yeah.
Because you can't just pack up and leave the lorry and be gone, like.
Yeah.
And it can be long when you're sleeping out all week. Do you know, because by the time I get home Friday night, it could be 8, 9, 10 o'clock, depending on what time you get finished in traffic, and you're back up the road again Sunday evening. So it's a short window at home to see everyone and just...
Yeah.
I'm like the college student. I'll end in with the fucking gear bag and the wash, and the washing machine is the first thing put on to get that done out of the way for Sunday again, like.
And would you find that life on the road, especially lying out, would it affect relationships?
Well, I'm lucky because my fella's a truck mechanic, so he totally gets the madness and
he understands.
He understands it, yeah. And the same works for him. I understand when he gets tied up somewhere and a job goes on way longer than you thought was going to be, or do you know. So I'm lucky that way, like that. Yeah, we get each other's job.
Yeah.
As he says, I break him, he fixes him.
And then you touched on it there, the loneliness and that. Do you find it lonely, or do you find it hard on your mental health?
Yeah, well, I actually did suffer with depression myself years ago. I spent 3 years on antidepressants about 10 years ago. So I suppose I don't let it.
Yeah.
I know what to do to not let it.
What do you do?
Like that, keep talking to people and keep yourself busy. And I remember one time now, a couple of years ago, I was sleeping in the lane in Limerick every day and up the road every night, and I was having an awful bad week, and I was talking to a mate of mine, and he said, you just need to get away from the fucking lorry. He said, you're in it morning, noon and night. He said, even when you're off, you're sitting in it, waiting for your 9 hours to take over. You know, you'd sleep in it for the few hours, then you're up, you're eating, watching TV or whatever, but you're still in the lorry. He's like, you just need to go away for a couple of days. And he was right. I went home and I had a long weekend off, and I was grand again to go. Like
what he said was right. I often seen myself, you'd have a bad day in the lorry, and sometimes all you need to do is park the lorry, get out of it, go into the likes of Tracy's, have a beer, have something to eat, talk to a couple of boys, you're all right.
Yeah.
You're getting away from the lorry. And I think that's, a lot of people find that hard. It's you're parked up, but you're still at work.
Yeah, you're still in the lorry. You're not getting a break away. Like, this is my life for the week. This is my bed. This is my food.
This is your
my
kitchen.
Clothes are in a bag. You know, it's your everything is in this. Now I'm lucky now because now that I'm doing the Dublin work, I stay in our own yard every night. So you can go up to the canteen. You can actually cook. You'd have the crack with the lads. It's easier when you're staying in the yard.
Yeah.
Than when in Limerick you were just in a laneway. So you mightn't see anyone for the 9 hours you were off.
Yeah.
Do you know, bar the phone, and you get sick of being on the phone as well then at times. Do you know, sometimes it's nice just to sit down and have a cup of tea with someone.
Oh, it is, yeah, no, without a doubt.
Do you know?
What are the main challenges faced by women in the industry?
Jesus, I don't know. Obviously the toilets and the shower facilities, but I think that actually stands for the men a lot too. I mean, I know men have the advantage, they can jump out and pee in the side of a road or in a yard, but the majority of men I know don't particularly like to have to do that either. They would much prefer to have a toilet and go use it and wash their hands. And, you know, the facilities, I think, across the board are shocking. Like if you're running up and down to Dublin on one of the main motorways, great.
Yeah.
But like if you're doing Cork to Donegal or up that side of the country, there's nothing. Like we drove lately from Limerick to Donegal, and there's probably maybe 2 or 3 spots where you could pull in a lorry. I didn't notice anything on the main tracks where you could.
Yeah.
Now, lads might come back and say you're wrong, they do it all the time and there's this place and that place.
But if you're doing it all the time, you'll find these places, yeah.
But there's no obvious spot that you can say, yeah, I can park there for the night. Even running from Limerick down to Cork and back up. I mean, you've Mallow there, but you're 9 times out of 10 it's packed and you can't pull in.
Yeah.
Do you know, even just to get to the toilet, like.
Yeah, no, that's true, yeah.
Do you know, but, yeah, I suppose the toilets would be the biggest thing.
And then, when you report a problem with your lorry or trailer, are you taken seriously, or would mechanics kind of look at you as if to say, you don't know what you're talking about?
No, they're actually very good. In our tools now, they're very good. And even yesterday, they threatened to bar me out of the garage because I'm always bringing back in a trailer that there's something wrong with, or there's... But no, they're very good. And if it's something like... I don't claim to know a whole pile about the mechanics, I drive them. But like if you say to them, it's not driving the way it normally drives, they'll take your word for it and they'll say, right, what's it doing? And they'll bring it out for a spin and see can they identify it. They know you're in your... Like, we're generally in the same lorry all the time. Yeah. So they know if you say it's doing something different. Yeah. Like this lorry I'm in now, I only got yesterday. We're swapping them out till Christmas. And there was a couple of things I didn't like. No bother. He took it in. He went through it. There was a couple of sensors gone, fixed, and off you go again. Yeah. So no, they are good. They do.
Are you treated differently in sites or warehouses compared to your male counterparts?
I actually think we're treated better. Because I think they're afraid to make a girl cry. I've noticed that in a lot of places where I would have seen them roar at a man for doing something I did. Yeah. I got away with it. And I think a lot of it is they're very unsure how to deal with the women. If I start screaming at this person, is she going to start crying? And I think as well, a lot of it is how you approach places. Yeah. Oh, if I go into a yard for the first time, I will always get out, introduce myself, tell them, I've never been here before, what's the rules, what do you want me to do? Yeah.
Because in a lot of places you go to, they automatically assume you know what to do. Yeah. And you go to the wrong area, and the next thing they're bawling and shouting and cursing at you, and I don't know. Like.
Yeah, so I try to avoid that by just getting out or telling security or the first person I meet, come here, I've never been in here before, what's the crack? How do I not get myself in trouble around here? And I generally find that works. Like, if you're nice to them, they're nice to you.
Yeah. And then, would you find that you're offered help more?
Yeah. Yeah, I would now. I find men are very quick to... do you know, if there's something big and bulky you're doing, you'd often get a lad say, do you want a hand with that? Do you know? And if you ask lads for help, they're brilliant. It was one of the main things that kind of enticed me to do this interview when you were talking about him, because I don't really like going on camera, but I wanted to get that point across. I think a lot of women are afraid to join this industry because they feel there's a persona out there that the men will deliberately set the women up to fail because they shouldn't be trying to do a man's job. And I find it's the complete opposite. They love seeing women coming in and they'll do as much as they can to help you.
Are they doing it out of kindness, or are they doing it out of nosiness to find out who you are, what your story is?
I have found genuine kindness. There is a bit of nosiness, but they'll tell you, like, they're Irish, they'll tell you that straight away, like, you know. I'm just being nosy now, but... And, like, lads will ask you, like, lads will say, look, if you don't answer me, it's fine, but, like, how do you manage for the toilet and stuff? And then I tell them all about the shiwi, and they're like, the what now? For anyone that doesn't know what a shiwi is, best invention ever. Same as the male bottles you get in the hospital, but with an attachment for girls. Boots have them, $9.99, ladies. Best invention ever. Close the curtain, job done.
Great job.
And then the men are sorry they asked. But yeah, no, they're genuinely interested in how we do manage with these things. Like, are we able to get the facilities? Like, yeah. But like, I found lads now where they're great to teach you tricks. Mm-hmm. Like landing legs. that won't go up. Rise there in the unit. If that doesn't work, rise there in the trailer. But they'll show you, like I found, especially with our tools now, say you could have a problem, you'll call a lad over for help, and he'll show you what to do, and then he'll say, but if you're ever in the yard on your own and that doesn't work, here's 2 or 3 more things you can try. And they'll go out of their way and they'll show it to you, like. Do you know, now maybe I was just blessed with our tools, but I found the lads were, all of them, brilliant to teach you.
Would you find you're given the same work as your male colleagues, or would you get maybe easier jobs or maybe different treatment? Or
Well, I do get easier jobs, but I don't know if that's because I'm a woman or because I told them from the get-go I have an awful lot of problems with my back.
yeah,
So I'm never put on the really heavy work. So I don't know if that's just because, you know, I told him from day one all the issues I had with my back, like, so like we do a lot of fish, I'm never put on that because they're massive heavy, like. And I will say, like, I mean, with our tools now, it's kind of under Danny, I work directly all the time.
Yeah.
And like, he is always very protective of the women as well, to make sure we're sleeping somewhere safe. And
are you the only woman with tools?
I was the first woman with our tools, and I think I'm still the only one in Ireland. There's a few now doing tag teams out in Europe, husbands and wives or couples that that double drive together. I think I'm still the only solo woman doing it.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, I was the first. My claim to fame.
What would you say to anyone who thinks this is a man's job?
Yeah, like we all bring something different to the table. Like, personally, I'll be the first to admit the majority, men are stronger than women. Okay, there are some women out there very, very strong, but the majority of men are stronger. But even when the lads be sparring with us at work about them being stronger, I'm like, yeah, but you can't grow a child inside you and push you out. We all bring something to the table.
Yeah,
you know,
true.
It is a very physical job, and there are things that, okay, some women weight-lift and whatever, and they're seriously strong. There are some things where I've no bother going out to the lads and going, come here, I need a bit of manpower.
Yeah.
You know, be it you can't get a leg up or a door closed or...
Yeah, but to be fair, there's often times that, like, I have to ask for help.
Yeah.
You know, like, we're all only human at the end of the day, but there's often times... offhand, I can't think of an example, but you're going to someone, jeez, give me a hand with this, will you?
Yeah. Like, I keep a rubber mallet in the side locker, because sometimes the fridge doors, there's like a click lock on it, and no matter how hard you hit that, it ain't closing, and you'd hurt your wrist like fucking banging. And so my fella, a very romantic present, got me a rubber mallet. But even this morning I had to use it in Tesco, and one lady goes, where are you going with the hammer? I was like, the door wouldn't close. So I just give it a belt to the hammer, and so you'll find ways around them all.
Yeah, adapt and overcome.
Yeah, but lads are great if you ask them to help you. Although I did meet a lad one day now, and I asked him to help me. Oh, it's a long time ago now, back in a place in Tala, and could not get the landing legs up no matter what I did. And I got out and I asked him would he give us a hand, and he goes, oh, no bother at all. He said, I did see you struggling. He said, but he said, I actually offered to help a woman driver once before. He said, and what, she didn't call me. So he said, I'd never again offer to help a woman unless she asked me.
Yeah.
Do you know, but no, they're great to help, and I think they like to pass on their knowledge.
Yeah.
Do you know, I have found now the lads just savage helpful, like.
Are the services in this country adequate for overnights for a woman?
The same as for the men, like, I mean, how safe for any of us, like. Do you know, I mean...
Well, not even the safety aspect of it, but the services they provide, like, we don't have to straighten our hair, we don't have to dry our hair, you know, like...
That's why you keep it short, girls. Yeah, I guess if you'd long hair, it would be... there is nothing for... Like, everyone showers in the same, they're driver showers and that's it, so...
Yeah.
There's no special area for women, but I guess on the other hand, there's not enough of us yet probably to...
But should there be?
Them. Of course there should, yeah. Yeah. Do you know, there should be an area, like even the services that are there for the men, like, I mean, you go to a lot of them and there might be 2 showers. I mean, there could be 40 trucks parking there for the night, like.
Yeah.
Do you know? I mean, I remember touring America now one time, and like the dedicated areas they have for drivers are phenomenal. Like, you know,
Yeah.
they're a whole dedicated. They're bigger than this place here where we're sitting, and it's just parking spaces, so they can pull in for the night. And in the middle, then there's usually a big block, which has like vending machines, showers, toilets, everything they need. Like the government in Ireland do not provide for truck drivers, like
No, definitely not.
100%, like.
But we were the heroes in the middle of COVID, us and the doctors.
Oh yeah, and now we're back to being useless and in the way, like.
Do you ever feel intimidated in the services?
No, I never have. But then, because like you said, from the shows and the runs and everything, I know so many people. I generally know someone in there, and you'd rock up to them, and even if there is a gang of lads and I don't know them and I have to sit there for the next 9 hours, I'll just rock up and, well, lads, what's the crack?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they either talk to you or they don't. But 9 times out of 10, you'll find someone that wants to chat too.
Ah, yeah, you
Do
will.
you know?
You will, to be fair. And if there was anything you could change about the industry, what would it be?
How long have we got?
How long have we got? 8
Oh
minutes.
Christ, that could take a lot of the night. There's, yeah, I suppose, like for drivers in general, there's an awful lot. But I suppose from just being a woman driver, I suppose the toilet facilities would be the biggest thing. Like I even find when you go to warehouses now, there's a driver's toilets. 9 times out of 10, if I ask to use them, somebody will come over mortified and go, no, I'll bring you up to the office.
Yeah.
Because they don't want you to go into them.
Yeah.
Not that just because they're not really clean and
Just
sanitary.
because.
Yeah. But I suppose, yeah, that. And I suppose, yeah, sleeping out in general in Ireland, the facilities are just, they're shocking, like.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
know?
they definitely
And
are.
I mean, they'd be roaring at everyone then about a healthy lifestyle, like, provide somewhere for them to have it. Do you know, we're lucky with our tools. There's a full-on kitchen. Like, we've cookers, microwaves, the lot. You can cook a meal. But out on the road, Burger King, Supermax.
That's actually something that a couple of people have said during these course of interviews, that there's no, well, there is, but it's very rare that you could go, like, we are kind of grab and go. Grab a sandwich, grab a burger, grab a McDonald's, whatever you can get.
Yeah.
You can't go in and grab a bit of chicken, a bit of pasta.
No.
You know, you can buy it out of the fridge. It's pure shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's no other cooking healthy food that you can grab and go.
No. And then that's the problem too with the industry then, is it's so busy, it's so full on, that you're not getting to stop to eat properly.
No, you're not.
Do you know? Because it's go. Do you know? Now I'm lucky, like I said, with the yard and that, and like this, you're here where we're waiting out to be checked. You can actually get something to eat. But it depends on the work you're on. I know plenty of lads that never get to stop for a minute, like.
Yeah.
And then they're eating bars of chocolate or they're...
Shite.
Yeah, do you know?
Yeah.
And for even, like, for the hours the drivers put in, everyone says, oh, the drivers are all on great wages. When you break it down by the hour lads have to put in, like, you know, you don't get...
We could go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, but, like, I'm always joking, like, the work-life balance. There is no such thing in Haulage.
No.
It doesn't exist.
Have you found lorries have taken over your life in a bad way? As in spending Saturday cleaning the lorry, spending Sunday getting yourself ready for the week ahead? Or are you able to say Friday evening, switch off, bang, that's it till Monday
Yeah,
morning?
I switch off much and all, as I love truck shows and I love lorries. This is my workspace, and when I go home at the weekend, that's for my friends. I am arsed if I'm cleaning a lorry all weekend. Well, I don't bring it home anyway, so I can't. But even if I did, you know, my friends that have nothing to do with trucks, I only get to catch up with them at the weekend. So the minute I'm out of the truck, you're trying to get to visit as many of them as you can.
Yeah.
But also through the trucks, it's also brought a fabulous side to life. The amount of friends I have made over the years from truck shows and, you know, from going to truck runs and truck events, and it's opened up loads of opportunities as well, like to travel and meet people, like.
It is a great little community.
It is a savage community, like.
It is. What has been your most memorable experience on the road?
Good or bad?
Good.
Good. God, what did I... There's loads I got to do. I suppose through the runs and all that, like, I got to do... I got to drive through the Aston Tunnel in a truck. Well, I didn't get to drive. I got to be the passenger. I got to drive a 143 from Manchester to Peterborough for a show. That was brilliant. Hello, Davison's, because that was all them. Got to go out on the track in Aston and one. But yeah, I suppose on the road day to day, I suppose one of my favourite things is when the kids still wave at you and they do the whole air horn thing and you're just like, hey.
Would you believe, I was actually somewhere recently, I think it was over around Greenore, and it was around school time, and there was a line of lorries ahead of me, and I could see the kids in the distance and them giving it loads.
Yeah.
I think there might have been 5 lorries. I was the only one that peeped.
Stop. I love that.
That's an unwritten rule.
I love now, sometimes around Dublin you'll see them up on the bridges, like, and I'll be like a kid flashing the lights and blowing the horn and I don't care. But
No.
yeah, I love that side of it.
You have to. And then, what has been your biggest, oh shit, moment or experience?
I suppose at the start you have a lot of them. Everything frightens the shit out of you. Your first time going through the tunnel, your first time going down a bad road, your first time having to trust Google Maps because it says it's down there. No, but when there's only one road to this place, like going out to Sam Dinnigan's for the first time, or almost dropped a trailer once. Was very, very lucky. I think I was maybe only driving a few weeks at the start full time, and I heard some kind of a funny sound. And I was going around the bend of a building and I said, right, that didn't sound right, you better slow down and check it. Mm-hmm. And as I came round the bend, I was like, oh my God, is that trailer sliding? And braked, jumped out. But by the time I had got out, a gang of lads had appeared from everywhere. The legs were down and the trailer brake was already on before I had even got out of the lorry. Yeah. And yeah, if you almost drop or do drop a trailer, you will never let it happen again. Like you saw me earlier going in under the trailer to check the bar. Yeah. Ever since that day, I go under with a flashlight. I don't care if the clip looks right or not. I go in under and make sure that bar is 100% across. Yeah. Because,
that's how accidents happen, because you become too confident in what you're doing.
Yeah. That and falling out of the truck was my other big oh shit moment. Yeah. 8 staples, a concussion, bruised ribs and whiplash will make sure that you always get out safely out of the truck
3
anymore.
3 points of contact.
3 points of contact. Clearly I had none.
And lastly, Edel, what advice would you give to anyone, particularly women, who are thinking about getting the licence?
Go for it. 100%. You'll always wonder, should you have or shouldn't you have. It's not for everybody, but you will never know unless you try it. Yeah. And I would definitely say, even when you go driving or you get a job, you need to give it at least 6 months. Yeah. The first few months I did this, I started full time in a September, and I remember telling all my friends at home, I'm just going to stick it till after Christmas, not to let Danny down. But I'm done. This is not for me. It's too hard, because my reversing, it took me forever to get the hang of reversing.
None of us woke up able to reverse.
No, it took me exceptionally long. I was shocking bad. There's an ongoing joke in O'Toole's, if somebody's really bad when they're doing their induction, that they go, no, he was worse than Edel when she started. But I suppose I didn't grow up on farm machinery like I always say, if you see a really shit hot reverser, like I'll stand and watch a lad that's good going, damn, I'd love to be like that. You know, these lads that'll just come in a yard, whiz around and back on without a flinch or a touch of a brake. But you'll always find out they either grew up in a haulage or they grew up doing silage. I had never reversed a trailer until I got into an Arctic.
I have always said any young lad drawing silage will make a good lorry driver.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Because not even the driving, the hardship that they go through.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
Yeah, but it is hard. Like, the hours are long, but like, the plus sides are way higher than the minuses. Yeah. And you'll never know unless you try it. It's one of them jobs that you'll either love it or hate it, but you won't know until you try it. And you do need to give it 6 months till you get confident at it.
And try a different variety of work.
Oh, 100%.
Because there's such a different, like, I'm tippers and tanks, you're doing fridges, like you have containers, you have so many different varieties and ways to do it.
100%. Like, I mean, I'm kind of limited with my back what I can do, but like, I mean, I wouldn't dream of doing anything that you have to tie down or I'm not a strong person. And with my back, anyway, I couldn't. Like, I tried curtains. They're not for me. There's too much pulling and dragging in them. So play around with different things and find what's for you. Like, food is very 24/7, so maybe that doesn't suit you. So you want to get into something that's a Monday to Friday.
Or it could suit you if you have other commitments and you want to do part-time driving. Like, there's loads of part-time
That's
drivers
it.
out there as well.
100%. And the night driving. Like, I did night driving for 2 years, and I did love it while I was doing it, but after 2 years of it, you were like, right, I want to life again. You know,
Nights is tough.
especially in the winter, because you're starting in the dark, you finish in the dark, and the few hours a day like this there, you've slept through them. So you've a couple of months there where you see no bit of daylight, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would 100% say to anyone that's thinking about doing it, do it, because I know I'd have always regretted it if I didn't. And it was only thanks to the few opportunities I got with the few lads that, you know, they got me into it. Like, even in COVID there, I hadn't gone full time yet, and I was knocking about doing nothing, and Kevin Mackin took me under his wing loads there. I used to be up doing, you know, teaching me how to reverse and getting your confidence built up. Like, lads are only more than happy.
And I think, to be fair, I know it might be harder to get a start as a female if you've no experience. But companies out there now, I think they're more understanding, and they are willing to give you a shot.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Now, you are going to come across the odd person, no, wouldn't have a woman around the place. That's neither here nor there. But there
but
are
you don't want to work for people like that anyway.
No, that's very true.
You know.
But there are people out there that will give you a chance and will help you along as best they can.
But I think that's across the board for anyone, male or female. A lot of companies, because of insurance, are slow to give the unexperienced a chance. But you can't get experience unless someone gives you a chance. It's the catch-22 for everyone in Haulage. But I would say to guys and girls, if they want to get into it, be willing to do a bit of work for nothing. Be willing to jump in with a lad and just do it for the bit of experience. Build up your bit of it. You know, if you know someone in it, if they can get you on the road with them, even coming into a yard and just volunteer to practice shunting for a while. You know, anything to get that bit of experience that a lad will say, okay, I've seen you doing it. I know you can do it. I'll take the chance on you. Be willing to do stuff like that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But I think that's for lads as well, is no one's willing to take the chance on the newbies because of insurance. It's not that they're not willing to give them the chance. The insurance just hammers them on the unexperienced.
And you have to prove yourself to see how you work the insurance.
Yeah.
And as you said, that's how you do it, into a yard and do whatever you can for nothing.
Yeah.
For.
Because even the ones that can take the younger drivers, it's the excess is huge. You know, it's not that they don't want to, but the excess, if that person has a crash, is massive. So you need to make sure you're willing to take the chance on them. So, volunteer to go into your local haulage company and say, look, can I do weekends?
Tell them Edel Harvey sent you.
Yeah. But yeah.
I think that's us, Edel. Thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you.
Yeah, no, it was interesting. It wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be.
No, you were very nervous.
Yeah. No, I was reluctant to do it, but I just wanted to get that point across that the lads will back you up, like they will have your back.
Yeah.